podcast could seem offensive if your funny box is broken. Bring a thick skin to dinner. Bon appetit.
You drink tea mainly for the enjoyment of it, like the taste and everything, right? I like tea too. But
Martika, you say that like people don't drink tea to enjoy it. Like I'm this alien, like, oh, Brian's the only person that drinks tea to enjoy it. Martika, I don't think Slack works in that way.
wait, isn't it by usage though?
No, I think you can have as many. Well, that's a good point.
What do they consider active users? So if she came in there, like she's in there right now, she hadn't done anything yet, but if she goes, "Hi, Martika," then boom, there's a charge.
I don't think Slack is that petty to make you
Slack
pay by
petty as hell. I don't know what their new sliding scale is. I just pay for it. Like I don't. They tried to say like, oh, you get this return, or you don't owe this, or you're refunded this, and now we charge you this. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just,
right. Why is it that this is what that you then have to pay the charge for? That makes no sense.
I don't understand their model whatsoever, but
Slack in general. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, other than like they started as per seat, but then they optimized it so that you didn't have to pay for inactive users. Like if people didn't use it after a certain amount of time.
Yes, you're right.
But like I'm confused on what they consider active versus inactive.
Are you sending memes? Like I think if you're sending memes.
So you tell me if one day somebody says something that contributes absolutely nothing to the business at all, then all of a sudden I have to pay for them? I'm talking.
Yes.
All right. Are we recording?
Yes, we've been recording. Don't not gonna bleep that out.
Oh, have I really been PG this whole time?
No, you've cursed a couple times.
Oh.
But I'm good about,
Because I was like
No.
I felt like I was popping off for a minute on Slack.
No. I recorded that whole conversation. Yeah, like it's content over everything, bro. What's wrong with you? All right, so here we go.
You gotta send me the question.
Yeah, I got you. But you can't.
I won't look at the questions that you already have. How about this? You click generate.
Generate 10 more.
Yeah, generate 10 more, and then you hand me your phone. I'll copy those 10, and then text it to myself. And that way.
Oh, wrong thing.
It's probably like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, generate 10 more questions based on the above 10.
So I can be able to talk to you.
What was that?
I was trying to make sure.
Why are you messing with the microphone?
Because I need to pivot a little. All right, here we go.
All right, don't look at mine though.
I'm not. It's already gone.
Wait, how are you gonna send them to yourself?
I'm gonna click select and then select all of them and then send them to myself.
Don't be looking at my text.
I'm not looking at your text, fam.
I don't give women my phone. Like you're lucky. My little sister and shit. Like I don't give women my phone.
All right. So we're gonna copy. All right. And we're gonna go text. I'm gonna be like da. Where's Martika? All right, there I am. I just went straight words. Look, I ain't trying it. Okay. All right. So now you ain't allowed to look at the text messages.
Okay. But I mean, I gotta scroll up so I can look at my. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. Do me a favor. Can you go get our tea?
Ooh, yes.
It's a Earl Grey. We got the same one, Earl Grey Lavender. Even though I'm literally gonna be up the entire night, like. Yeah, it's gonna have me like wired completely.
Good. Need to send emails anyway.
That's true. Get them to work. Get them to work.
All right.
You introduce this thing.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is the TeaPod show with Martika and Brian.
Like a week late. Like we were supposed to.
Yeah, but we made it. That's what's most important.
I was gonna say, is that the running thing that every week we made it, that we actually do?
It's a milestone. We made it.
Hey guys, we actually decided to do our job. We actually decided to.
We showed up to work.
That's right. Exactly. I just work here, fam.
That's it. I just work here.
I just work here, fam. So, in terms of what we're drinking today, because I actually have a proper cup of tea. What are you drinking?
Today, I'm drinking Earl Grey Lavender. It's really good.
Well, we'll make this even simpler. We're twinsies because I'm also drinking Earl Grey Lavender. So, cheers to you. All right. We don't have a guest today, though, right?
No guest today, but we do have some fun topics. So today, Brian and I are just going to, ask each other a couple of questions.
That don't sound like fun. I got to be honest with you. Sounds like boring. Sounds like work. Like people.
Well, it's gonna be interesting questions.
Okay, there we go. That's better because I was gonna say people ask me, like, no, I'm serious. Like on a day-to-day basis, people ask me a lot of stuff. And I'm like, dude,
can you just stop?
Exactly, just leave me alone.
Can you just stop asking me questions? I think the founder,
you don't want the answers. Like, you don't really want the answers.
It's like you don't want to know.
No.
I think the founder life is we're always getting asked something.
Yes.
And we're always having to make decisions. And I feel like I could definitely go a day where I don't have to make a single decision. Like, does that ever happen? Like, can I go a day without ever having to make a decision?
No. So I'm actually super curious about that. Would you though? Like, I know it's a fantasy, but like, would you actually feel comfortable doing it?
Probably not. If I'm being
because it would
honest,
feel too weird. It would feel too foreign.
Yeah, like somebody else makes a decision for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't work out.
And then to even extend that a bit further, that's kind of why you got into the founder life, though, is because you feel like you've done the work and at least have it sounds arrogant, like have the vision to say the reason why I make these decisions is because I feel like I'm the most formed person to do that.
Exactly. So I would definitely say that it's because I don't want anybody else to tell me what to do.
Right. No, facts. I mean,
although, like, I'm not always most comfortable with telling other people what to do, but I definitely
you don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I mean, I've heard I can be a little bossy.
I'm not. That's too easy. I'm not.
I'm setting myself up.
No. That's what I say. It's too easy. I'm not even gonna do that. But so you're in a situation where you don't essentially like to take orders. I mean, that's a fair way of saying that. I don't like to take orders either. However, I do think I probably more so than you am more comfortable and communicating to those that are either subordinate or those that I'm collaborating with. Like this is kind of what my expectations are. I need you to do this. Yeah. And don't look at me like that, Martika. See, now it's too easy for you. See, you're a jerk. Like, little kid, you're a bit of a jerk. Because you want to say something so bad, but you're like, nah, I'm going to be cool about it. Like, say what's on your mind, Martika.
No, I think you are very comfortable with telling people, like, hey, this is what I need you to do. I'm more like, can you?
Right.
Or would you? Or do me a favor? Yeah. And I just can't be like, I mean, I will grow into it, but like, hey, I need you to do this.
Are there opportunities for either of, so putting it on a scale, maybe, so let's go back. So we had this idea that we wanted to ask each other questions, right? So no guests today. We're just going to have a conversation where we ask each other these unique sort of questions, founder related questions. Before we kind of get into it, I'm curious to know, are you striving to be more forceful with your directives, like as the quote unquote boss? Like, is that something you want? And then I'll answer whether or not I'm trying to get softer.
So yeah, definitely I'm looking to be a little more forceful just because of the fact that I think as a founder or as a female founder, we can be more soft-spoken and we have...
I didn't think about that. That's a good distinction because I'm sure folks probably put like a well, I ain't gonna say what words they use, but I'm sure that there are labels that get attributed to you if you were to show sort of show like your directness, right? Like
Yeah.
there's certain words that people would attribute to that type of person.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this weird balance where it's like, okay, I don't want to rock the boat, but I really need to get this done. And finding like those interesting roundabout ways to get it done, or like having like certain words or how you say things to get that done. But I also find value in just being straightforward as well, and just be like, oh, I want to be able to do that, and command that particular type of respect as well.
Yeah, but I think that's why you and I work well together when we collaborate, because I think I like the fact that you're direct, at least with me.
Yeah, I'm very direct. I'm nice to everybody else but Brian.
Again, well, what's understood don't need to be spoken, because boy, oh boy. So that makes sense. So swinging the pendulum around to me, I feel like I absolutely aspire to being less sort of direct, meaning I want to govern. I was gonna say like a sovereign, but that's more of a king. I don't think I'm a king, to be clear. Only in my mind.
King Brian.
That's right, King Brian, Lord of the Allison land. I do aspire to govern and conduct leader activities from a position of strength that doesn't alienate the folks that I'm leading. I like the idea of them being organically bought into the pathways that I sort of ideate and create, and we go together. Like I'm the first among equals kind of thing.
I love that. Oh, Brian's gonna be softer.
I'm like pouring my heart out to you. Content over everything, bro. Content over everything. That's some good stuff. So we decided we're going to ask each other some fun questions. So, Mrs. Martika Jones, I will allow. So for the listeners, rather than Martika creating her own GPT prompt to create her questions, she used the prompt that I used to create mine. So I couldn't. So she basically said, "Hey, generate 10 more questions like Brian." And so I can't look at her, so I won't. But I will scroll to mine and look at mine. But I will let you go first, and I anticipate some good stuff, some good banter.
All right.
And don't read with your read faster. Like it's not a novel, Martika. Like it's not a bubble bath.
Yo, these are so interesting.
No. Like no. See now I'm excited. No. Don't, because you're gonna talk yourself out of it. Hit me with it. I'm ready. Come on, let's go.
All right. Explore the dynamics of working with a co-founder or build. Wait, hold on. Wait, how are these?
I already know. Like, this is going in a direction I don't think I'm ready to talk about. To be honest.
All right. So, the co-founder dynamic. What qualities do you think are essential for a successful partnership?
So yeah, this is interesting. All right, so I'll say it this way. One of my best mentors, Andres Briato, shout out to Andres. He is the managing director of Techstars. He's a really smart guy. He believes he knows a lot. I think he knows a lot. He doesn't know everything, right? Not a knock on him, but he doesn't know everything. He knows a lot, though. So a lot of the things that a lot of the time when he provides feedback, I take it, I take them with full deference. And one of the things that he likes to espouse to founders is when you're an early stage company and it's multiple founders, right? So it's 2 people or more. The things that bother you early on, if they are not taken care of when they happen, they will then grow to become larger problems later.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, that like my background is in psychology, right? Like I have a degree in psychology, and that's some Psych 110 stuff, right? The idea that the compounding interest of what I would call feelings of regret and feelings of unappreciation,
Yep.
they grow to something totally larger if you don't allow yourselves to really discuss to discuss like what's really bothering you there, because it's just going to grow and it's going to become this fire. Now you have to deal with the house burning down because, no, I'm serious. Like the house will burn down because you didn't put out the stove fire, or you didn't put out the fire on the rug, right? It engulfed the whole house. And I've seen that happen more than I care to admit, because, I've started several companies, and, depending on what your definition of success is, none of them were ever like unicorns or anything. I think Allison is doing very well, obviously, and that's my latest endeavor, and the one that have really attached my identity to.
Yeah.
But that even underscores why a founding partner is important, because I completely attach my identity to Allison. My co-founder, Nicole Green, she's a co-founder because she stepped up and stepped into a role when others kind of ran away from it.
Yeah.
Or others abdicated that responsibility. She kind of stepped into it. And I think there was an interesting dynamic where, like, I had been building this thing for almost 2 years before she ever learned about it. So it's kind of like my baby, but she's like its stepmom almost.
Yeah.
Right? And I've had to find ways to make sure she feels appreciated in that co-founder role, even though technically I founded the company, right?
Yep.
And so, there are times where there are things that bother me about some things that would happen in our dynamic, and there are things that bother her. And I found to be most productive the times when we nip it in the bud immediately.
Yep.
She says, "Hey, I don't like this. We need to be able to take care of this. Can we fix this?" And I've always tried to acquiesce. Word of the day.
Yep. Word of the day.
That's the name of the show.
Acquiesce.
I've always tried to acquiesce in that. Look, if you have a real problem, like, I love and care about you as a person first before our business or our startups. Like that's the starting place for where we begin. From there, we are also business partners. So let's make sure the business doesn't suffer from any of our personal stuff.
Yep. Oh, that totally makes sense. And that question actually was prompted by Andres, his post, because I actually saved it on LinkedIn about, 4 days ago, because I was shooketh. Again, emphasize shooketh, because he said, "The earlier, the better for tough conversations with your co-founders. That little thing that bothers you now will flare up when there's more pressure from growth or lack of growth. No matter what, have a 1-year cliff and total 4 years of vesting. In the likely event,
Martika.
that you part ways, sign a mutual release and non-disparagement agreement. That is what's best for the future of each party."
That's why I just quoted Andres, because that was the post that I saw.
I saved
You
it.
cheated. No, Martika. That wasn't fair. Like,
No, it actually, GPT asked the question, but when I saw it, I immediately thought of his post, so I had to ask the question.
wow, that is so bizarre. Yeah, that was exactly what popped into my mind, because, wow. See, you're a little rat with these questions. Like, that was too appropriate. So wait, so is this a situation where you ask the question and you have to answer it as well, or can I ask mine now?
We can move on to a new question.
Well, no, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, because I've got some that you haven't seen and you've got ones that I haven't seen. Do you want to just do it to where?
Oh, where they're like new.
No, that's the name of the show. New.
Yo, that was funny.
Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
Easter egg. I got a good one. All right. The art of the pivot.
Oh, Lord.
Talk about a time when you had to pivot your business strategy. What prompted the change, and how did you navigate the transition? Bum, bum, bum.
Which part? Yo, so I would say the original start of Boop, it came from a previous startup that was supposed to be one thing, but ended up being a completely different thing, which was a link in bio platform, because that was like all the rage back in 2019. You know,
A link in bio? What the heck is that?
kind of like a competitor to Linktree.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and my previous co-founder wanted to do that essentially to get like some quick bucks while we were building the actual platform.
Got it.
But that platform never came to fruition, so I ended up with this link in bio platform that I managed to get over 800 users on.
Damn. Yo, shout out to you. Do we have like an applause button? I don't think
Like,
so.
yay!
I don't think
You can just find the sound bit later.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it in post. We'll put it in post.
But something I realized during that was just kind of like in hindsight, but I was very good at getting a wait list. I was very good at getting people interested in something. And even when that particular company crashed and burned, I was able to do like a win back list when we came up with the idea for Boop. Because Boop essentially, you know, had the same components of like a link in bio platform where, you know, you had the customizability and things like that, but it was so much more than that because of the fact that, you know, we really wanted to have people nurture leads and things like that. But even before then, we were essentially a digital business card, because coming out of COVID, because all this was like going in and then going out, we, you know, were kind of riding that train of contactless networking. People didn't want to touch business cards, things like that. But as time went on, we realized that that was a highly saturated market and wanted to find that next differentiator where we could, you know, still have this, but there was something special about it.
Right.
And of course, going into the Soaring City Accelerator, shout out to Soaring City.
Shout them out literally every week. We gotta get a sponsorship. Yo, Eric, can I get some free stuff, Eric?
Yeah, we need some swag or something.
That would be so funny if Eric was listening to a podcast like that's hilarious. Like what's this? What do you press? Wait, are they having a show inside my phone? No, I'm just kidding. Eric's not that codgery. What is it, codgery? Old codger? I shouldn't call him that. Anyway, sorry. I love you, Eric. Sorry. Go ahead. Derail.
So he no, not he, but so essentially, Eric derail. So derail.
That's right.
But essentially, we went through the accelerator program, and that's when our total shift happened. Thanks to you and Moranci.
Me? What did I do?
You dragged me kicking and screaming until I realized our potential.
I was just curious if you were going to say it out loud.
You were trying to show us our potential.
Yeah.
And ultimately succeeded. But before that, before even realizing that that was the potential, I didn't realize that our current customers over at, again, shout out Century 21, but a lot of them were giving us that whole feeling of, yeah, we still have this, collecting the leads are great, but like I'm still forgetting to do this, and you know, follow up success. We've been hearing that for a minute, but then it just took a minute for us to like get that click. But once we got it, thanks to you guys dragging us kicking and screaming.
So, well, I mean, and look, it, you know, for us, I'm not going to speak for Moranci. I can speak for me. I think when I first learned about Boop, and I know this is your story, so I'll try to be quick. When I first learned about Boop, I thought I wasn't a big fan of wearables. But then I saw the potential in the follow-up in that I would have to go to these conferences and go talk to people. One, you know I don't like to talk to people. I don't know why people don't realize that I don't like to talk to people. I
think you're very friendly and approachable.
Yeah.
And you're always with people.
That's right. So very small story. I know we're just totally like off the rails now. I went to the dentist this morning, and I love my hygienist. She's the best. Well, it's my orthodontist. I've got Invisalign, and my hygienist. She's, you know, we're talking or whatever, and she's this beautiful Southern black lady, and she was talking about. She's like, yeah, Brian, I just been planning my final transition, blah blah blah, talking about, you know, when she dies. She's like, she's got a will and all these things, and she bought her casket. She's like, I want to, yeah, right, exactly.
No, she ready.
So right. That's the same thing I said. I was like, oh, you ready. So I'm laying in the chair, and she's like putting my braces because I got the permanent retainer on the bottom of my teeth. So she's putting it because it always pops off. We're not gonna talk about teeth. You and April. Shout out to April Caldwell. While she was doing it, she was like, she was at the funeral home talking to one of the guys. She was at her plot where she's going to be buried, and she was talking to the guy about how she wants to be buried, all these things, and and the guy was like, "Well, you not afraid of talking this into existence?" And she was like, "If I go to heaven, that's great." She was like, "But if I go to hell, I know it's going to be a lot of people that I already know there. Friends, family members, like people I went to school with." I was like, whoa. I was like, that took a turn. I was like, my gosh. Anyway, that's
dark. So dark.
Right, exactly. Just random stuff, man. But so, okay, anyway. So going back, I don't even know how we got on that. Now I got to go listen to
You were saying what you saw in Boop.
Yes. Oh. It was a funeral. It's dead. No. No. So what I saw in Boop was like, I hated the idea of having to go and exchange information and then go do the follow-up after. Like, I'm sitting in the hotel. I got my laptop up. I'm sending you a message on LinkedIn just to remind myself that we met. Because I have a CRM tool, but it's more based on my email interactions. And if I don't send you the email, then it's not in the CRM tool. What point is it at that point, right? It's a paperweight. Yeah. So I was like, man, what if I tap it and then I automatically send a response to the person that I just met? Hey, this is Brian, blah, 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 blah. And I think Morancy was like, well, you don't want to just send a canned email. Why don't we do a psychographic profile of the person we're booping so that now that automated response is a response that the person getting the email would want, right? Yeah. Like this is how, based on their DISC profile or whatever, this is how they like to be sold to.
Yep.
And now it's not like all I'm doing is holding out my hand and saying, here's my digital card. And then Boop is basically stewarding the relationship from there until I have an actual chance to reach out to this person. So that was what I got excited about.
And this, my friends, is how I went from a digital business card platform to a lead nurturing platform.
There you go.
So now we nurture the leads, and we absolutely love it. It's the best thing ever.
That's right. Go buy one today.
Buy one today. Oh, man. So as you can see, they're the accelerator and everybody who's a part of it, they're very good at piecing it together, and just having that camaraderie, I think, really helped with the pivot of everyone in the cohort being supportive and us really like just sitting there brainstorming and hashing it out and just making sense of it all. And because, with me being the operator, like the creative ideas, I'm like, that's great, but like, how do we put this into function? Like, how do we actually make this become a reality? I think that was what the barrier was for me. But once we actually like cracked that code, it was a wrap from there. So yeah. So it's definitely, I would say this is a great pivot. And if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it all over again. So
wow, yeah. Pivot's not a bad word. I don't like it because of the inherent sort of implications that we're
like it's bad, like, oh, this didn't work. Right. It's like, but maybe there was just something better.
Wow, that was so profound. Maybe that there was something better. That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah, it's not that it was bad. Like, we could have lived, gone our entire existence probably just being able to write that. But like, why when there's potential greatness on the horizon?
Yeah, no, I like that. All right, your questions. It better be good. It better be a good one. And no co-founder stuff again. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Nicole, man. I rock with Nicole.
Ooh. All right. The importance of saying no. How do you evaluate?
No! No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. You say it like that. Say it with your chest.
So discuss a crucial situation.
Oh, no, let's go. No, I'm excited.
Let me rephrase. Discuss a situation where saying no was crucial for your business. And how do you evaluate opportunities and decide what aligns with your startup's goals?
I think you snuck inside my office today because it's weird how catered these questions are to today. Oh, you know why? Because you got those questions from my GPT prompt.
So were you saying some other stuff in there where it's
yes, because I tell my GPT everything that happens.
So it knows everything about you?
Yes. You thought I was
so these questions are directly tailored towards Brian. You should be kind of worried. GPT knows everything about you. It's like all these questions that he's asked me to generate, these are for him. Well, you need retrospective. Shout out to Faden.
Yo, I talked to her today and I put her in there too. That's hilarious. Okay, all right, let's focus. All right, so you got to give me the question again. I'm sorry. I'm dying. Like, go ahead, give me the question again. I'm sorry.
What I feel like these are 2-part questions.
No, I'll take it. Give me both.
All right. Discuss a situation where saying no was crucial
the power
for
of
your
no.
business.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And how do you evaluate opportunities and decide what aligns with your startup's goals?
So, time is the most important resource for most of us, especially when you're a startup founder.
Yep.
Because that's the only resource that you can't get back. You can get back money. You can lose money and get it back. You just gave us an example of starting one company, that company not reaching the level of success that you wanted, and then using those learnings to start Boop.
Yep.
So you got that feeling back, or you got the interest of building something back, but you can't get time back.
No.
Right? So if you can't get time back, you have to be ruthlessly aggressive with how you communicate to those that are trying to get that time. That can be someone on your team. That can be somebody you're trying to sell to. That could be a mentor that you're trying to get advice from. But you have to be, just bullish on how you use and manage your time. And the biggest weapon that you're ever going to deploy in that struggle/fight is the ability to say no. Because no, I think on a personal level, to me, no is non-negotiable. If I tell you no, that's no. You don't get to argue with me, or you can, but you're gonna be arguing with the wall.
To the wall.
Talk to the wall because you'll get a better response. That's the end of the conversation, right? Like, no, no. I'm a human being and I say no. Hard stop. In business, I think it's kind of morphed, at least in my experience, it's morphed to be, well, it's not right now. Like shout out to Monica Roca Casada, one of my dearest mentors, like a second mom to me. And she says this all the time. She's like, Brian, it's not a no, it's a not right now. Yeah. And most of the time, yes, that's correct. Like, people aren't in a position to work with you or buy your service or join your trial, things like that. But down the line, they may, because circumstances change. Yeah. But for that moment, when they say no, that's it. You don't get to argue with them. You just got to kind of eat it and say, all right, cool. So for me, like, no is like, I value my no's. I don't use them. I try to use them with intelligence. And that's hard because sometimes you don't want to say no. Sometimes you want to say, I really want to help you, but man, time is this. Or I really want to help you, money is this. I really want to do this, but I can't. And you have to say no. My goddaughter, shout out to my goddaughter, Dana Bailey. She got into the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
Yay! We're gonna do a little applause right
That's
there.
right.
Yay!
Put the little cheer sound effect.
Yeah!
Or no, what is that thing I sent you the other day with the TikTok? They're gonna know. How are they gonna know? They're not gonna know. No, they're gonna know. Like,
oh man.
Like she gets in the UAB, and now I'm like, oh, I got to figure out how to pay for this. And she's like, hey, I want to come down for my visit. Okay, great. I'm in Birmingham, no problem. Like, stay at my house, blah, blah, blah. I want my boyfriend to come. No. No. That's not what that's for.
No.
Why? No, wait, let me back up. Not even a why. Like, no, hard no. I don't even care why you want him to come.
Hard stop.
Yeah. No, he is not bringing his Well, I'm not gonna say nothing, but he ain't coming down to my house. That's not happening. You are here. Like, you got this opportunity. You're here to do this thing. No, he ain't coming down here. No, you come down here. We will go to campus. I'll take you to all the people that I know. We'll get you ingratiated, all that good stuff. But no,
She's there for one reason.
Right, exactly. And I had to tell her that, and she didn't like it. She still doesn't like it. She's still texting me now, like, oh, well, can he do it? No. And that's the thing. When it's family, you say no, and they think you don't love them. They equate your love to your ability to acquiesce, quote unquote.
Word of the day. To what they want you to do. And it's like, no, I only have but so much time. I only have but so many resources. I have to be, judicious with them. Yeah. And if I say no, that's no. Yeah. No, I agree with that. No, I feel like I'm still grasping with that, but I'm learning the repercussions of not saying no.
Aha. So that's the other piece of it. So if you get into a situation where you feel like you can't say no, and then you end up saying yes to things that burn you, it's like, oh, this is the problem. This is what happens. Like when one of your best friends, when your best founder friend says, hey, I've got these 3,000, let's call them loop bands. Let's not call them any other name. I've got these 3,000 loop bands that I need you to make sure that they work. And let's call the guy Brian. Let's say his name is Ryan. And he says, okay, Martika, I'll do this for you. And he's sitting in his house at 3 a.m, scanning these bands, making sure that they work. He could have easily said no, but he knew how important it was to his best friend. So
that's such a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's not autobiographical at all. So
just, not at all.
Not at all. Was there a second part to that question? I don't remember.
Yes, I believe there was. Let's see.
Well, the answer is no. How about that?
Sure. We'll go with that. But I don't take no for an answer.
Oh. Was that the second part? Like, how do you deal with no? How do you get... No. Well, let me follow up. How do you deal with being told no?
Oh, how do I deal with being told no?
Yes. So that's a different... So now we're a different conversation. So the first one was, how do you tell someone no, or how do you divvy out your no's? But what do you do when someone tells you no?
That's a great question. I think it depends on how the no was
Oh, and
said.
by the way, that's not my question. Don't eat
Oh,
up.
no, I know.
Okay, all right, cool. Don't you get cheap with my I still got a bunch of questions to ask you.
Are we good on time?
Don't worry about it. We can go long. Well, I mean, we didn't do an episode last week, remember? So.
Oh yeah, but my dog's gotta get some food.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, we'll get the dog some food. Well, go ahead. You got it.
All right, so I feel like it depends on how the no was said.
So it's not the no itself; it's the tone.
Yeah, it's the tone. Like if the tone ain't there, I feel some type of way. But I mean, of course, I can eat it. But then there are certain no's where it's like it takes him a minute to get to the no. You already know, like, dang, just say it's a no, bro.
That prolonged no.
It's like, why you gotta sit here and add insult to injury?
That's right.
Just say no, bro.
Just tell me no so I can just leave you alone. Why do we have to do this?
It's the long con.
I was gonna punch you in the face. You took so long to do this.
Yeah, it's like the long con is what it is. So, but I mean, I would say I can deal with no's. Like that's not a problem, especially if people feel like they need to. Not that they need to explain themselves. If they're just like, I wish I could do this, but XYZ. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. And I feel like I'm starting to learn that more and more, especially like with fundraising and things like that. Like that happens. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get a yes. So
I'm glad you brought that up, because my question is navigating the funding maze.
Oh, Lord.
Dive into your experiences with securing funding. What strategies worked, what didn't, and what advice would you give founders in the fundraising stage?
It's trash, and more trash.
True. Facts, as the kids say. True.
Facts. So I would say fundraising has been, it's had like its ups and downs. I mean, you can get fundraising many different types of ways. We've done it through like accelerators, not so much like angel investors. I mean, I've taken like investor calls. I feel like personally, holding myself accountable, I can do a lot more outreach and investor calls. But with the ones that I've done, it's interesting because, of course, I've gotten the no's and I've gotten like some interesting things as well, right?
The long con no.
The long con no. Where
look, man,
that was an interesting one, right?
It's a tough road out there, man. Like seriously, and that's literally where the no. Like if it's gonna be no, just tell me up front, and I'll leave you alone. Like I won't say. I was gonna say a bad word. I won't say anything else. How about that?
Yeah, because I've had investors that have wanted to shift the narrative to essentially poaching me and going to another startup to all the way down to just, hey, here's your time to ask me questions, and then I would ask those questions.
That is so bizarre. Like, so you mentioned it. Are you comfortable talking about that story?
Which one, the poaching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can we deviate a little bit because I want to hear that story? I've heard it, but I want to hear it again.
So I had a meeting with a VC, and essentially I was just pitching Boop. It was one of those times where I'm not comfortable doing like cold calling or anything like that, or just like getting on the phone randomly. But one night he was doing this whole thing where he's like, "Hey, I just want to talk to 10 founders tonight, and like let's just have a whole phone call." And I got on the list and was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do it. I'll do something crazy. And I got on the phone with him, just like ran through everything, talked to him about Boop, and he loved it so much. He loved it so much that he let me know that he had essentially he was working on a deal with another startup that was what he considered similar, but had a little bit different features. And he essentially was like, "Yeah, I want you to meet the founder, like let's have a meeting afterwards." So we ended up having that meeting, and then he mentioned that he would ask me if I would be interested in like letting Boop go, essentially like stop doing Boop and being on like maybe the C-suite as like chief innovation officer or something like that for that startup. And I essentially told them, like, I just feel like at this point it wouldn't be right because I haven't gotten to see Boop do its thing and see it to fruition.
Because this was super early in Boop's.
Yeah, super early, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, I love how you think. I love how innovative you are. Like, I love how you can see into the future." And they just like wanted me to be on their team because they were already getting funding, I think in like the millions. So he was just like, "Yeah, you could do this and make a lot of money." And I was like,
"That's always a dangerous. See, that's where no comes in."
I was like, "Yo," so I did say no. And people probably thought I was crazy, but I was thinking about my team. And I was like, they wouldn't get anything out of this.
I didn't. Like, I remember when it happened at the time and you and I talked, that was one of the, in terms of in my mind, that was one of the times I was like, man, I admire her so much. Because the courage that it takes for that, because how hard it is to build something like this.
Yeah. And
you probably did the math, like, oh man, like I could be making X amount of dollars.
I could have been, I probably would have been set, right?
My husband and I can go on vacation, like all these dope things that your life, you got 3 pugs, like you.
Probably would have had to move.
To what was it, to New York?
Boston.
Oh, no, being black in Boston. Oh, wait, can I say that on the podcast?
No, bleep, 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 bleep.
Oh, sorry.
Just say, oh no.
Oh, yeah, we'll just leave a space, like a. Shout out to Boston.
Shout out to Boston.
My car. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I remember like just thinking, I was like, man, I was like, that's such a like the guts it takes to do that, because you could have easily said, all right, I'll cash out and go join the startup. It's like the startup is very similar to what you were doing. So isn't that like a level of validation? Like if they're getting money, why can't you get money?
Yeah, literally, that was my thought process. I was like, oh well, they're willing to invest in this startup, so we obviously have a chance out here in these streets, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what?
It's not as cold as people think. Like,
yeah. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm going to try my hand at this. I'm going to tell them no. and then I felt invigorated after those meetings. So of course the next one,
when you got told no, then it was like, oh.
I was like, I had it too easy. My first meeting went way too well because the next one it was downhill from there. It was like, I don't understand why what is this? And I need to understand your thought process on this. And I was like, wow, I felt like I was in an interrogation.
Wow.
Like imagine, giving a VC a scenario and they're like, oh, I don't have business cards, or I don't carry that. Like I just use, my LinkedIn QR code. Like, what is that? Like, we don't do that. And so it was already like standoffish, so I couldn't even get it out.
I don't want to go on a diatribe on VC, but simply because people have money doesn't mean that they're smarter than you or I. It doesn't mean that. Like, yep. And I think we've conflated as a society the accumulation and the acquisition of wealth to be the accumulation and acquisition of wisdom or knowledge. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah. You
could fall ass backwards into money and never having done any real work to earn it.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll won't be controversial this episode, but yeah, I can see how that would suck. Like I could see how you had your initial call with the VC, and then the very next one it was like the polar opposite. But it does illustrate why, again, we're talking about time earlier. It's why time is has such an importance to founders, because you kind of have to just let that roll off your back. And I know personally, I'm still working on how to do that effectively.
Oh yeah, same.
Because look, I'll tell you, I met with our investors at Alabama Futures Fund. They had an event on Monday, and look, I was honest about our quarterly call where it didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go. And look, and shout out to them for acknowledging, hey, like this could have been, we could have done more on our part to make this call to get the most out of our collective time.
Yeah.
Right. And so shout out to them for being, huge people for saying
that's
that.
Big.
That is
big.
That was
a lot
big.
of people.
Cause look, I went into their office, like it was like, oh, like this is either going to be
like that.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm from the hood, so it's like I don't know whether you a op or you not a op, like
op or no.
That's right, op or no, like op or no. I hope no, but I don't know, like
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, but it was like it was cool. Like we're at the end of the day, we're all humans, and things happen, and sometimes there's a miscommunication. But that's why I would hope we could talk about it. Like we could have conversations. It even goes back to what Andreas said about co-founders.
Yep.
Even if we have a miscommunication, let's talk about it. Let's have that conversation. Even if it means we have to, break up our alliance and do other things, that's okay. Like Jerome Dishman is one of my best friends in the whole world. I would trust him with my life. And he was my co-founder with Allison at one point. And he and I, we had to part ways. But that never, it was hard for me because I love him.
Yeah.
Like I love that man. And I will always love that man because he's a mentor to me. He's a little bit older than me. And so I look at him that way. And I'm sure he felt betrayed because he bet on me, right? Like when Allison became a thing, he bet on me. And so I think we're in a good spot in our relationship today because we had that situation to the point where, things are going to go a certain way here over the next few months, and he's going to reap benefits of that because he had that faith in me. And so sometimes you just have to have hard conversations that may end in no, but that's the game is the game, as Omar from The Wire once opined.
Opined.
The game's the game. Op or no. You know?
Op or no.
Op or no.
That should be the title.
No, right.
Op or no.
Op or no dash Martika B. Jones.
So I feel like even with what we did like 3 questions or something today.
Yes.
I feel like we covered a lot of ground.
I threw a couple gems in there.
And some gems.
And some gems.
I mean, I feel like we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, even those questions could go on for days and shows. So we may even revisit some of this stuff.
Yeah, we'll have. I mean, this was fun. We'll come back to it. I like this format.
Yeah, because this was great, and I really hope that all of you got something out of this. A couple of gems that Brian dropped, and definitely. I really love this though. Like we got to start doing the GPT. It's kind of like question roulette.
Correct. Well, right. I was gonna say
because you don't know what you're gonna get.
No, we don't, and that's a good and bad thing though. Martika,
you know what? We should get like the computer screen next time where it's just like one of we like put the questions in a random generator.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
And then
that okay. So next episode, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, so we can't pick it. It chooses it for us.
I didn't choose the game. The game. Chose
the
me.
game chose me. So we're gonna make this even better next time. But
it can't get no worse.
But yeah, so do you have any thoughts to leave them with?
No.
All right, guys, you heard it here yourself. All right, so this is the TeaPod show with Martika and Brian.